All right, so strap yourselves in, folks. We are diving deep into the world of AI today.
Oh, yeah. Things are heating up.
Definitely heating up. You've sent us some really fascinating articles about Alibaba,
Mm-hmm.
the Chinese e-commerce giant.
Right.
Well, they're throwing their hat into the AI ring with this new model,
Yeah.
Qwen 2.5 Max.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they're not just content with, competing. They're aiming for dominance straight out of the gate.
It's a pretty audacious move, especially given the timing. I mean, just a few days ago, DeepSeek, another Chinese AI company,
Right.
they made some pretty big waves by saying that, their model was superior to anything the U.S. had to offer. And then Alibaba comes along and is like, hold my beer. We've got something even better.
Yeah. It's like they were just waiting in the wings for the perfect moment to, steal the thunder.
Absolutely. They've definitely captured everyone's attention.
Oh, they have.
Yeah.
So Alibaba is saying that Qwen 2.5 Max, it not only beats DeepSeek,
Mm-hmm.
but also those big established names,
Mm-hmm.
like OpenAI's GPT-4 and Meta's Llama 3.1.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not stopping there.
No.
They're making Qwen 2.5 Max open source,
Yeah.
which is a really big departure from, companies like OpenAI and their approach.
Oh, for sure. Open sourcing this model. It's a fascinating strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, it has the potential to really shake up the entire AI landscape.
Oh, yeah?
Imagine, if you will, a world where developers everywhere have access to cutting edge, AI technology
Right.
without the restrictions that come with those proprietary models. That's the power of open source.
So they're basically saying, here's our groundbreaking AI. Go wild, use it, build on it, make it your own.
Exact.
I mean, that's a pretty powerful statement.
It is a powerful statement, yeah. It's a move that could really democratize access to powerful AI,
Yeah.
and it could accelerate innovation in ways that we haven't even begun to, wrap our heads around yet.
Right.
But, there are risks.
Oh, of course.
Because this level of open access, it does raise concerns about control, about misuse, and, just the ethical implications.
Right.
Of having this incredibly powerful technology so widely available. It's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what makes this whole situation so fascinating.
Absolutely.
It's not just who has the best AI. It's about the bigger picture.
Yeah.
The future of technology, how it'll be developed, how it'll be controlled.
Exactly. And to really understand the significance of, Alibaba's claims,
Yeah.
we've got to kind of dig into those benchmarks they keep mentioning.
Right.
Like, how are they actually measuring AI's superiority?
Okay. Yeah. Let's break down these so-called benchmarks. Are we talking about some arbitrary measure here?
Right.
Or do they actually tell us something meaningful about how these models perform?
Well, benchmark tests are specifically designed to evaluate different AI models.
Okay.
On specific tasks, things like natural language processing, translation, even code generation. They provide a standardized way to compare performance across different models.
So essentially, Alibaba is saying that our model came out on top in these standardized tests.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
But you said earlier that these benchmarks, they don't tell the whole story.
Right.
What are the limitations of these tests?
They don't necessarily reflect real-world performance. Think of it this way.
Okay.
A car, it might look amazing on paper.
Right.
All the specs are great, but how does it actually handle on the road in different conditions?
Yep.
With, passengers, luggage, all of that. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with AI.
Okay.
Benchmark tests are a very controlled environment. But the real world is messy, unpredictable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So while these claims from Alibaba sound pretty impressive,
Yeah.
we should probably take those benchmark results with a grain of salt.
Probably a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to consider the real-world applications.
Right. Yeah.
And the potential limitations.
Exactly.
We need to look beyond just the hype
Yeah.
and understand what these models can and cannot do.
Right.
It's not just about bragging rights.
No.
It's about understanding the true potential of this technology.
Absolutely.
And the impact that it's going to have.
Yeah.
And speaking of impact, this whole AI showdown,
Yeah.
it's already sent shockwaves through the tech world.
Oh, it has.
DeepSeek's initial announcement caused a noticeable dip in tech stocks,
Yeah.
especially for NVIDIA,
Right.
the company that makes those powerful chips that are used in a lot of AI development.
It's a sign. It's a clear sign that investors are paying attention
They are.
to the shifting landscape of AI.
Mhm.
They're trying to figure out which companies are going to emerge as the leaders
Right.
and which ones are going to, fall behind in this incredibly fast-paced, rapidly evolving space.
Yeah, and then Alibaba drops this bombshell announcement.
Yeah.
And now, everyone's scrambling,
Yeah,
trying to recalibrate their prediction.
absolutely.
This isn't just a competition between companies anymore, is it?
No, it's not.
It's a battle for global dominance
Sure.
in a field that could totally reshape the world.
It's a high-stakes game with huge global implications.
Yeah.
And with, the introduction of open source AI,
Right.
the playing field is becoming even more, dynamic
Yeah.
and unpredictable.
It's like someone just threw a wild card right into the mix.
Mm.
But before we, go too far down that rabbit hole of global implications, maybe we should take a step back and think about what this means for the everyday person.
That's a great point. Yeah. Let's bring it down to earth and explore how this, AI arms race could actually impact you directly and change the way we live, work, interact with the world around us.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got these Chinese companies, right, making some pretty bold moves in the AI space and, sending shockwaves through the markets and all. But what does this really mean for the average person out there, for someone who's not like, tracking tech stocks every minute?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's easy to get kind of caught up in all those headlines and market fluctuations.
Right.
But the real story here, the thing we should really be focusing on, is how this technology is going to change the way we live. Like, imagine a world where AI assistants are not just on your phone anymore,
Yeah.
but like integrated into everything,
Okay.
every part of your daily routine.
So we're talking more than just like, asking Siri for directions or to set an alarm.
Oh yeah, much more. Think about AI that can help you write better emails
Okay.
or learn a new skill faster.
Right.
Or even personalize your healthcare based on your specific needs and, even your genes.
Yeah.
The possibilities they're huge, and they're becoming more real every day.
It's exciting,
Yeah.
but also kind of daunting,
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that open sourcing AI could really speed up this progress, right?
Right.
Like, what does that actually look like in the real world?
Imagine a community of developers from everywhere,
Okay.
all around the world, all collaborating, building on this open source model that Alibaba's put out there. It could lead to this huge wave of innovation, new AI applications, stuff we haven't even thought of yet.
So it's like giving anyone who wants to create something new with AI,
Yeah,
like a powerful set of tools. But doesn't that also open the door for misuse?
it does. It absolutely does. That's always the tension, right? With open source technology, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
We're talking incredibly powerful tools here.
Yeah.
And with that power comes, responsibility to use them ethically.
Yeah, big responsibility. And it raises some questions, like who gets to set those ethical guidelines?
Yeah.
And how do we even enforce them when things are so, global and decentralized?
Yeah. It's a challenge. It requires a global conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We need frameworks,
Okay.
principles for AI development
Right.
that prioritize human well-being, fairness, transparency. And this has to happen globally
Yeah.
because, AI doesn't care about borders.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like this is going to require a lot of cooperation, maybe even some tough decisions.
Yeah.
But before we get, too deep into that global conversation, let's bring place the competition, right? We've talked a lot about Alibaba,
Mm-hmm.
but what about DeepSeek? They were the ones who, kind of shook things up initially.
Oh, they're a fascinating player in all of this.
Yeah.
Relatively young company compared to, a giant like Alibaba.
Yeah.
But they've made a real impact.
I have.
What they did was they developed a model that they claimed was not only better but cheaper than the U.S. alternatives.
And that's what got investors nervous, right?
Yeah.
That idea that a Chinese company could undercut the established players on both performance and price.
Exactly. It was a wake-up call for the tech industry, particularly here in the U.S.
Yeah.
It was like a shift in the balance of power, the realization that this AI race had become truly global.
It's interesting how DeepSeek's announcement seemed to kind of, light a fire under Alibaba. Like they were just waiting for the right moment to unveil their own, big breakthrough.
Yeah. Hard to say for sure what their strategy was,
Right.
but the timing is certainly interesting.
It is.
Maybe they were already working on Qwen 2.5 Max,
Mm-hmm.
and they saw DeepSeek's announcement as like the perfect opportunity to show off what they could do.
It's like a game of chess, right?
Yeah.
Every move calculated to outmaneuver the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But this is more than just a game, isn't it? The stakes are pretty high here.
Oh, absolutely. This is about more than just, who's got the best tech. We're talking economic influence, global power,
Mm.
shaping the future of a technology that could change, well, everything.
Yeah, and it sounds like the U.S. government is starting to take notice.
Yeah.
DeepSeek's announcement reportedly, got a pretty strong reaction from former President Trump,
Right.
called it a wake-up call, and even hinted at, potential trade war risks.
Yeah. I mean, that reaction really highlights the geopolitical side of this whole AI competition. Governments around the world are starting to see just how important AI is strategically.
Yeah.
And they're looking at it through this lens of, national security and economic competitiveness.
So this isn't just companies fighting for market share anymore.
No.
It's countries vying for position on the world stage
Yeah.
with AI as the new battleground.
It's complicated. It's changing all the time. And it raises some really big questions. Like how do we navigate this new era of, tech competition while still making sure that AI benefits humanity as a whole?
That's a good question. These are questions we're going to have to figure out, as this AI race keeps going. But before we go too far down that road, let's bring it back to the present. We've talked a lot about the big picture,
Yeah.
but where are we actually seeing AI making a difference in our lives right now?
Right.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. The intense competition, the potential benefits and risks of this whole open source AI thing, and, even how it's playing out on like the world stage.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is. But I'm curious, where are we seeing AI making an actual difference in our lives right now?
Well, it's funny because AI is often talked about like it's some far off thing of the future, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is it's already kind of all around us, woven into our everyday lives.
Yeah.
And often in ways that we don't even really notice.
So are we talking more than just like, self-driving cars and robots taking over?
Yeah. Not quite there yet, although, those things are coming. But think about things like, those personalized recommendations you get on like streaming services or shopping sites. That's AI.
Ah,
Or even spam filters.
right.
Keeping all that junk out of our inboxes. That's AI too.
Okay, I see what you mean. So it's more like, these behind-the-scenes algorithms that are kind of quietly shaping our digital world.
Exactly. Yeah.
But are there areas where it's having, a more obvious direct impact?
Absolutely. Healthcare is a really exciting one.
Okay.
AI is being used to analyze medical images,
Mm-hmm.
helping doctors catch things like cancer earlier, more accurately.
Wow.
It's also being used to, like, tailor treatment plans to an individual's, gene.
So it's not just assisting doctors, it's like changing the whole healthcare industry, potentially.
Yeah, potentially. It's pretty incredible.
What other areas are seeing this kind of, big change?
Education is another big one. AI-powered tutoring systems that can really personalize the learning experience,
Okay.
adapting to each student's needs, their pace.
Interesting.
This could really revolutionize how we educate future generations.
So it's almost like AI could democratize access to quality education, right?
Right.
To make it more about what an individual needs rather than just like a one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. And it's not just about making things we already do better. It's opening up completely new possibilities.
Like what?
Like in the arts, for example.
Okay.
AI is being used to compose music, create visual art, even write stories.
Wow.
It's really pushing the boundaries of human creativity.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because some people worry that AI is going to be a threat to human jobs, creativity.
Yeah,
But it seems like it can also be a tool to enhance those things.
absolutely. It can help us achieve things we never thought possible.
Yeah.
It's powerful. And like any powerful tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
It's up to us to make sure we're using it responsibly, ethically.
That's a great point. Well, this deep dive has been really fascinating, I have to say. It's shed light on, just how much progress is being made in AI, the competition behind it, and, what it all could mean for the future.
It has been a pleasure exploring all this with you. This AI landscape is constantly changing.
It is.
It's crucial that we stay informed, engaged, help shape the future of this, really transformative technology.
Couldn't agree more. And to you, our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, maybe even inspired you to learn more about this amazing world of AI. Keep exploring, keep questioning, stay curious, folks.